You ever notice how sometimes the more you care about someone, the harder it becomes to hold their attention? You start wondering what's wrong with you, what you did wrong, that, or why he suddenly seems distant. But here's the truth no one told you. It's not about doing more. It's about doing this one thing that changes everything. Because the moment you understand this, the game flips entirely in your favor. There's a moment, subtle, almost invisible, when a man begins to fall in love. It's not when you wear that dress he once complimented. It's not when you text him first or try to make him laugh. It's not even when you show him how much you care. It happens in a moment he doesn't expect, when he feels something he can't quite control, a mix of admiration and fear that he could lose you, an admiration that he gets to have you in his life at all. Men don't fall in love because of how much attention you give them. They fall in love because of how much emotion they feel when they're around you. And emotion comes from mystery, from not knowing everything about you yet, from seeing your confidence when you're not chasing, from watching you smile and realizing he doesn't own that smile. He only gets to witness it. That's when it hits him. That's when the attraction turns into something deeper. You see, most people think love grows when you get closer. But sometimes love grows when there's space for curiosity, space for desire to build, space for him to wonder, what's she thinking? What's she doing? Does she miss me right now? When you stop trying to prove your value and start living in it, that's when he starts seeing it. The truth is, men don't fall in love with the woman who makes them the center of her world. They fall for the woman who has her own world, and invites him into it. The one who makes him feel lucky to be there. The one who laughs without waiting for him to make her happy. The one who isn't afraid to walk away if she's not valued. Because confidence isn't saying, I'm better than you. It's saying, I know what I bring, and I won't beg for someone to see it. When you stop chasing his potential and start living your standards, something changes. He starts leaning in. He starts trying harder. Because now you're not feeding his ego. You're challenging his heart. He feels something rare as respect. And respect is the doorway to love. So when he looks at you and realizes that you could walk away at any moment, but you choose to stay, that's when he falls. Not because he has you, but because he's afraid to lose what feels him real. The kind of woman who doesn't need him, but chooses him anyway. The kind of woman who shines with or without him. That's what makes a man fall in love. Not your perfection, not your effort, not your constant availability, but your energy, that rare mix of warmth and independence. That quiet confidence that says, you can be part of my story, but you'll never be the whole book. And when you embody that, he'll chase more than your beauty. He'll chase your presence, your peace, your power. Because deep down, every man knows when he's met a woman like that, he's already in danger of falling. Have you ever tried so hard to make someone love you that you ended up losing yourself in the process? That you do everything right. You text first, you plan things, you show them how much you care, and yet somehow it still feels like they're slipping further away. It's one of the most confusing feelings in the world, because deep down you know your intentions are pure. You're not playing games. You're just trying to love someone honestly. But here's the truth that most people don't realize. Love doesn't begin when you do more. Love begins when someone feels something that shakes them. And emotion, not effort, is what makes a man fall in love. When a man starts falling for someone, it's rarely logical. It's not about how beautiful you are, how smart you sound, or how available you make yourself. It's something far less predictable. It's that spark he can't quite name, the feeling that sneaks up on him when he least expects it. Maybe it's the way you laugh without trying to impress him, or the way you look at him like you see right through his charm. It's not something he can control or even explain. And that's exactly why it pulls him in deeper. Because men then don't crave effort. They crave the feeling of being moved. But the problem is, so many women are taught that love is something you earn, that if you just show up enough, care enough, give enough, eventually someone will see your worth. But that approach flips the entire dynamic, because when you try too hard to make him see your value, you stop feeling like value, you become predictable. And predictability kills emotional connection. The moment he knows you'll always be there, no matter what he does, his emotions calm down. He stops chasing the high he felt when he wasn't sure if he had you yet. You've turned what was once exciting into something certain. Uncertainty doesn't trigger emotion, it numbs it. think about it, the moments that stick with you most in life are the ones that made you feel, not the ones that made sense, not the ones that were easy. The same is true for him. When he feels like he could lose you, when he senses that your energy isn't guaranteed, that's when he wakes up emotionally. It's not manipulation, it's human nature. People value what they fear losing. And when he realizes that your love isn't automatic, that it's something he has to earn through respect, effort, and consistency, his emotions start to anchor in you. He begins to feel something powerful, admiration. A man doesn't fall in love because you tell him he's special. He falls because you make him feel special in moments that matter. It's the warmth in your voice when you talk about your passions, the fire in your eyes when you stand up for yourself, the calm confidence when you walk away from disrespect. That emotional contrast, seeing both your softness and your strength, that's what captivates him. Because now he's not just attracted to your beauty, he's drawn to your energy. You make him feel something rare, something that reminds him of what's real. Love doesn't come from trying to fill silence with words or closeness with constant communication. It comes from moments, those quiet pauses where he realizes he's thinking about you even when you're not around. Those flashes of memory that hit him out of nowhere because you've left an emotional imprint. He remembers how you made him feel, the laughter, the calm, the mystery. The depth, that's what lingers. So stop trying to earn love through effort. The connection you're searching for doesn't come from proving yourself. It comes from being yourself, completely, unapologetically, confidently. The energy you bring when you know your worth without needing anyone else to confirm it is magnetic. It's what makes a man step closer without being asked. It's what makes him want to give, not because he's supposed to, but because he feels like he can't not. And that's when it happens, that invisible moment where admiration turns into desire and desire turns into something deeper. He doesn't even see it coming. All he knows is that you make him feel alive. And in a world where everyone's trying so hard to impress, the one who makes him feel is the one he can't forget. Have you ever noticed that the more you try to get close to someone, the more they seem to pull away? You think closeness will build connection, but instead, it starts to feel like you're chasing something that keeps slipping through your fingers. It's confusing because everything inside you says love should grow with proximity, with time spent together, constant communication, and full transparency. But here's the paradox no one tells you. Sometimes love doesn't grow in closeness. It grows in space because space creates mystery and mystery creates emotion. The truth is people fall in love with what they can't quite figure out. When you give someone every detail, every thought, every ounce of your availability, you remove the one thing that keeps attraction alive, curiosity. Curiosity is the spark that keeps someone wondering, what's she thinking right now? What's she doing? Does she miss me the way I miss her? Those questions are the lifeblood of desire. Without them, everything becomes predictable, and predictability might feel safe, but it doesn't feel exciting. Think about the movies that move you the most. The ones that keep you glued to the screen aren't the ones that give everything away in the first 10 minutes. They build slowly, revealing layers, drawing you deeper without you even realizing it. That's what creates anticipation, the sense that there's more to uncover. The same is true in love. When you give a man the gift of space, emotional, mental, even physical space, you allow him to wonder, to miss, to feel that magnetic pull toward you. You stop being a routine and you become a mystery again. Mystery doesn't mean playing games. It means having a life that's full enough that your world doesn't revolve around his presence. It means being so connected to your own purpose, your own happiness, that he's not your only source of excitement. When a man sees that, he starts to feel something powerful. He starts to respect your time. He starts to realize that your attention isn't something he can just take for granted. He has to earn it. And that process of earning it, that effort, is what creates emotional investment. What most people don't realize is that the human mind craves tension. Not the kind of tension that hurts, but the kind that makes you feel alive. When everything is handed to us easily, we stop valuing it. But when there's a little distance, a little uncertainty, the mind becomes engaged. It starts to imagine. It starts to desire. That's why space isn't rejection. It's oxygen. It's what allows the flame to grow instead of burn out. There's a subtle art to this. It's not about disappearing or pretending not to care. It's about showing up fully when you're there, but not needing to be there all the time. It's about giving moments of depth instead of hours of constant reassurance. When you do that, your presence becomes felt instead of expected. You're no longer noise in his day. You become the pause that makes him notice the silence when you're gone. That's the moment he starts missing you. That's when emotion builds. Men fall in love in the spaces between moments, in the mystery of what they don't fully understand yet. When you allow him to miss you, you give him the space to feel something real. And when he feels that ache of missing you, that quiet pull toward you, he begins to realize that what he feels isn't just attraction, it's connection. Because love isn't built from constant presence, it's built from meaningful moments surrounded by space. So when you stop chasing closeness and start trusting space, something beautiful happens. You shift from being someone who's always there to someone who's always on his mind. He starts replaying moments, rereading texts, remembering your laughter, your words, your energy. And every time he does, that curiosity deepens into something emotional. That's how love grows, not in the noise of constant attention, but in the quiet moments of wonder, the moments when he doesn't know what you're doing, and that uncertainty makes him want to know you even more. Because mystery isn't distance, it's the heartbeat of desire. And when you master the balance between closeness and space, that's when you stop being someone he likes and start becoming someone he can't stop thinking about. There's something magnetic about a person who doesn't try too hard. You can feel it the moment they walk into a room. That quiet confidence, that ease, that sense of not needing anyone's approval to feel worthy. It's not arrogance. It's not indifference. It's something far more powerful. It's peace. And when a woman carries that kind of peace within her, it does something to a man. It disarms him. It intrigues him. It pulls him in without her ever having to chase. Because a man doesn't fall for the woman who spends her time trying to convince him she's special. He falls for the woman who already knows she is. So many people think love is about pursuit, about showing someone through words and effort that you care. But there's a line, and it's thinner than you think. When your effort crosses into overgiving, you stop being the prize and start being the persuader. You begin trying to prove your value instead of living it. And that's where attraction quietly dies. Because the moment someone feels your energy coming from a place of need rather than a choice, they stop feeling pulled in. They start feeling pressure. And pressure doesn't create love, it creates resistance. A man feels the deepest attraction not when you chase him, but when you challenge him, not with attitude, but with standard. When your energy says, I want you, but I don't need you, something shifts inside him. He senses he can't just win you with charm or attention. He realizes he has to rise to be part of your world. That realization sparks something primal, the desire to earn your investment instead of being handed it. That confidence isn't about playing games. It's not about pretending you don't care or walking away to get attention. It's about having the courage to walk away because you do care about yourself. It's the strength to say that I'm not chasing someone who isn't choosing me. And when you live from that place, your energy changes completely. You stop sending signals of desperation and start radiating calm assurance. That calmness is irresistible because it communicates security, not in him, but in yourself. When you're confident, your actions come from abundance, not fear. You don't text just to get validation. You don't over-explain to keep him interested. You don't measure your worth by his replies or reactions. You move with quiet certainty that the right person will recognize your value without needing to be reminded of it every second. That's what makes confidence so magnetic. It's rare. Most people chase what they want out of fear of losing it. Confident people attract what they want by believing they deserve, and that belief changes everything. There's something deeply attractive about a woman who can enjoy connection without losing herself in it. The one who can give affection without needing it back in the same measure every time. The one who can walk away from mixed signals, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. That's the kind of strength that makes a man think twice before taking her for granted. Because he realizes she doesn't chase comfort. She chooses clarity. She doesn't beg for attention. She inspires it. The beauty of confidence is that it creates emotional contrast. It allows you to be soft without being weak, giving without being drained, loving without being lost. And that balance, that ability to stand tall in your worth while still being open and kind, that's what captivates someone's heart. It's the moment he realizes she doesn't need me to make her happy, but she's choosing to share her happiness with me. That's the kind of energy that makes a man fall deeply, genuinely, irreversibly in love. because deep down, every man wants to feel that the woman he's with didn't settle, that she chose him not out of fear of being alone, but out of strength because she could have anyone, but she wanted him. And that's what confidence does. It turns love from something you chase into something you action or attract. It shifts the power dynamic from proving to being. And that's when everything changes. Because once you embody that quiet, grounded, self-assured energy, he doesn't just see your value, he feels it. And that feeling, that undeniable emotional pull, is what keeps him coming back again and again. There's something powerful about a woman who doesn't make a man the center of her universe. You can feel it in the way she moves, the way she talks, the way she looks at you, like she sees you, but she also sees her own path clearly. That kind of energy doesn't scream for attention, it commands it. Because when someone has their own world, their own rhythm, their own goals, they become magnetic. Independence isn't about distance or pride. It's about strength. It's the quiet confidence of someone who knows, with or without you, my life still has meaning. And that, more than anything, is what makes a man stop and take notice. When a man meets a woman like that, something inside him changes. He realizes that she's not looking for someone to complete her. She's already whole. And that wholeness makes him feel both challenged and inspired. It's not about games or pretending not to care. It's about the way she carries herself, the way she invests in her own happiness instead of waiting for someone else to create it for her. That's when a man begins to respect her, because deep down, every man knows that respect is the foundation of love. Without it, everything else fades. You see, when your world revolves around him, he feels comfortable, maybe even flattered. But comfort isn't what makes people fall in love. Respect is, and respect grows when he sees that your time, your energy, and your love aren't handed out freely. They're earned. He starts to recognize that being in your life is a privilege, not a guarantee. That realization doesn't push him away, it pulls him closer, because men crave purpose. They want to feel like what they bring to the table matters. And when he sees that your life is already full, already rich, already meaningful, he wants to be a part of it, not because you need him, but because you inspire him. The truth is, dependence drains attraction. When your happiness is tied to someone else's attention, you hand them your power. You give them control over your mood, your confidence, your peace. But independence flips that. When you can find joy in your own company, purpose in your own pursuits, and confidence in your own growth, you become emotionally untouchable. Not because you don't care, but because you know that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. That energy doesn't just attract a man, it captivates him. A woman who is independent doesn't chase validation, she radiates it. She doesn't need constant reassurance because she's already anchored in who she is. And that stability, that grounded sense of self makes her irresistible, because now she's not looking for a man to fix her or save her. She's looking for someone who can meet her. Someone who adds to her world instead of becoming her entire world. That's the kind of woman a man falls deeply for. Because she's not looking for shelter. She is the shelter. She's not chasing love out of fear of being alone. She's choosing it from a place of strength. And that choice changes everything. Because when a man feels that you don't need him, but you genuinely want him, he starts to show up differently. He stops taking you for granted. He starts working to earn your attention, your time, your trust. Not because you demanded it, but because your energy naturally calls him to rise. You've set a standard, one that says, if you want to be in my life, bring something real. And that standard, that self-respect, is the heartbeat of attraction. There's a quiet power in knowing that your life doesn't stop for anyone. It keeps moving, evolving, growing. And when a man witnesses that, he can't help but admire it. Because independence doesn't distance him. It draws him in. It makes him want to protect it, nurture it, and be worthy of it. That's when love becomes something more than chemistry or attraction. It becomes partnership. Two whole people choosing each other, not because they need to, but because together they create something even more beautiful. And that's the kind of love that lasts, the kind built not on dependence, but on respect, freedom, and strength. There's a moment in every connection when the excitement starts to fade, when the butterflies settle and the truth of who you both begins to show. That's the point where so many people lose control of their power, because they start thinking love is kept alive by constant pleasing or chasing. But real love doesn't come from trying to be everything someone wants. It begins the moment they realize you have standards, that there are lines they cannot cross if they want to keep you. Because a man might be drawn to your beauty, your kindness, your passion, but he falls in love when he respects you. Respect changes everything. It's not built on charm or how fun you are or how much attention you give. Respect is built when you show someone who you are and what you won't accept. When you make it clear, not through harsh words, but through calm action, that your peace isn't up for negotiation. It's when you say no without guilt, when you hold your boundaries without fear of losing someone. That's when they begin to see your value, because it's easy to like someone who always says yes. But the one who has the courage to say no, that's the one they remember. Respect grows in the moments you don't even realize he's watching. When you handle disappointment with grace instead of drama. When you stay kind but don't tolerate disrespect. When you walk away from inconsistency instead of chasing closure. Every one of those moments sends a message, not to him but to yourself. A message that says, I choose my dignity over my desire. And when you live by that truth, something shifts inside you. You stop being afraid of losing someone because you've already found something more powerful, yourself. The reason respect is so magnetic is because it creates safety. It shows that you're not easily swayed by charm or sweet words, you're moved by actions. You're not impressed by effort that fades after a week. You're drawn to consistency that proves itself over time. When a man realizes that you can't be manipulated with attention or convinced with apologies that lack change, he starts to see you differently. He starts to step up, not because you asked him to, but because he wants to. He wants to rise to meet your standard, and that's when attraction deepens into admiration. The biggest mistake people make in relationships is thinking love can survive without respect. But without it, love becomes fragile. It turns into a cycle of giving too much and receiving too little. You start to shrink yourself just to keep the peace. And the connection becomes one-sided. Respect is what keeps balance. It's what makes him value your time, your presence, your affection. Because when he knows you won't tolerate being treated as an option, he starts treating you like a priority. There's something deeply powerful about the energy of someone who doesn't threaten to walk away. They simply will if they have to. That quiet certainty, that inner strength, that unshakable self-respect, it speaks louder than any speech. You don't have to prove that you're strong. You just have to live like your peace matters. Because when you respect yourself enough to walk away from what isn't honoring you, the right person will never want to let you go. When you carry yourself with that kind of grace and conviction, something happens inside him. He doesn't just see you as someone he desires. He sees you as someone he admires, someone who brings out the best in him, someone who makes him want to grow, not because you demand it, but because your presence challenges him to be better. That's what respect does. It awakens something deeper. It shifts love from something light and fleeting into something grounded and lasting. In the end, respect is what keeps love alive long after the excitement fades. It's the glue that holds the connection together when attraction alone isn't enough. Because a man may forget the one who entertained him, but he will never forget the one who inspired him. And the woman who stands tall in her standards, who treats herself with the same value she expects from others, she becomes unforgettable. Not because she tried to be, but because she earned his deepest respect, and that's where love truly begins. There's something almost unexplainable that happens when a man realizes a woman doesn't need him. She chooses him. It's subtle at first. He can feel it in the way she looks at him, not with desperation, but with calm certainty. The way she gives him space without fear, love without conditions, and presence without pressure. That energy is rare because most people chase connection from a place of need, hoping to fill a void, to fix a loneliness, to feel complete. But when you don't need someone to fill your emptiness, when you're already whole on your own, you change the dynamic completely. You shift from chasing love to attracting it. Need makes love heavy. It suffocates the space where attraction breathes. When someone feels like your happiness depends on them, they start to pull back. Not because they don't care, but because they feel the weight of being responsible for how you feel. But choice is light. It's freeing. It's magnetic. It says, I'm already fulfilled, but I see something special in you. That kind of energy makes a man want to step up, not out of obligation, but out of desire. Because now he's not being needed, he's being wanted. And that's a feeling every man secretly craves. A woman who loves from choice moves differently. She doesn't chase validation because her value isn't up for debate. She doesn't panic when he pulls back. because her world doesn't collapse without him in it. She can love deeply without losing herself. That balance between connection and independence is what makes her unforgettable. She's not clinging, she's flowing. She's not begging, she's allowing. And that allowing creates an energy that keeps a man drawn to her without even knowing why. When a man senses that you can walk away at any moment, not out of ego, but out of strength, it changes the way he sees you. You stop being an option and start being an experience, something precious, something worth protecting. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about being hard to replace, because he knows that your life doesn't pause for anyone. You're not waiting at the finish line for him to choose you. You're already running your own race. That's what makes him chase. That's what makes him invest, because he doesn't want to lose something that doesn't need him, but somehow still wants him. The most powerful kind of love is the kind that feels free, where both people know they could walk away, but neither of them wants to. It's built on mutual admiration, not dependency. And the beauty of that kind of love is that it allows two people to grow without fear. He can admire your strength without feeling replaced by it. You can admire his presence without being consumed by it. Together, you don't complete each other, you amplify each other. Need says, I can't be happy without you. Choice says, you make my happiness even brighter. Need says, I'm afraid to lose you. Choice says, I trust that if you're meant for me, you'll stay. That mindset changes the entire tone of the relationship. It turns pressure into peace, insecurity into confidence, and fear into attraction. Because when you're not chasing someone to fill your emptiness, you become the one who fills the room with your own light. There's something mesmerizing about a woman who can look at a man and say, I'd love to share my life with you, but I don't need you to define it. That kind of presence commands respect. It draws admiration. It makes him feel lucky, not entitled. Because deep down, every man wants to be chosen, not depended on. He wants to feel like he adds something meaningful to your already beautiful life. And that's when it happens, that quiet, invisible moment where love takes root. When he looks at you and realizes you're not staying because you have to, but because you want to. That's the moment he falls. Because love built on need fades when comfort fades, but love built on choice only grows stronger with time. It's not about holding on tight. It's about standing side by side, knowing you both could walk away, but choosing not to. That's what makes him see you as the one. Because in a world full of people searching for someone to complete them, you've already completed yourself. And that's what makes your love irresistible. In the end, love isn't about playing games, chasing attention, or pretending to be something you're not. It's about becoming so grounded in who you are that your presence alone draws the right person in. When you know your worth, when you live with confidence, when you choose love instead of needing it, that's when everything changes. Because real love doesn't come to the person who begs for it. It comes to the one who's ready for it. So stop worrying about being enough for someone else and start being everything for yourself first. That's the energy that makes someone fall deeply, fearlessly, and forever in love with you. Thank you for listening. And I hope this message reminds you that the power to attract real love has always been within you. Trust yourself, live boldly, and love without losing who you are. Good luck. And remember, the right person won't just fall for your beauty. They'll fall for your strength, your peace, and your heart.